with the contingency provisions for all critical election materials. The High Court of the Federal Capital Territory sitting in Gariki, Abuja, has squashed the allegations of false assets declaration against the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu. In an originating summons filed by Somadina Uzobaka, the claimant sought, among other things, an order of mandatory injunction directing and compelling the INEC chairman to step down pending the investigation and consideration of the various allegations against him. The plaintiff also sought an order of court stopping the INEC chairman from holding or assuming any public office for a period of 10 years. Professor Yakubu, who is, in response to the allegation, furnished the court with several exhibits to show the sources of money for the purchase of the properties which the plaintiff alleged were illegally acquired, and insisted that his asset declaration were validly done. In a judgment, Justice Hassan found that the declaration of assets by the INEC chairman is lawful, valid, and in compliance with the law, and that he cannot be investigated by any of the security agencies listed by the claimant. The judge declined to grant any of the 14 prayers of the claimant and allowed the counterclaims of the defendant. And on security, the Department of State Services has arrested the mastermind of a vehicle-borne improvised explosive device attack on 29th December 2022 near the palace of the Ohineri of Ibralan in Okene, Kogi State, during the president's visit to commission some projects in the state. A statement by the DSS spokesperson, Dr. Peter Afnaya, says the service arrested one Abdulmumin Ibrahim Otaru, also known as Abu Magdad, and his associates, Saidu Suleiman, on the 3rd January 2023. Otaru, according to the statement, sustained a gunshot injury on his left foot while attempting to escape. He is currently receiving treatment at a health facility. Investigations by DSS revealed that Otaru was a high commander of Islamic State West Africa Province ISWAP and has coordinated several attacks, including the 5th July 2022 attack on Kuje Medium Security Custodial Center in Abuja. Similarly, Otaru and his gang have staged several kidnap operations in Kogi and Ondo states. Meanwhile, the suspects are in custody and will be prosecuted accordingly. While reiterating its commitment to the safety of the nation, the DSS assures that it worked assiduously with stakeholders, including sister security agencies, to tackle the menace of terrorism and other forms of criminality in the country. The generation capacity of Nigeria's power sector is estimated at 13,000 megawatts, but what is distributed is less than 4,000 megawatts. The shortfall between generation and distribution is attributed to weak transmission network. But there is a cherry news, as federal government is addressing the challenges of impending supply of adequate electricity through the Presidential Power Initiative.
The Siemens agreement will boost capacity in terms of resolving the issues of the bottlenecks in the distribution interface. If generation has been improved, and then also transmission network has also been improved and made to evacuate power. Issues of not being coherent with the targets, achievable targets in the sector, will be addressed by the intervention of the agreement signed for Siemens by President Muhammadu Buhari.
The project is going on very well, and it's aimed at.
Let's talk health. In the wake of renewed alarms on the deadly Ebola virus disease owing to emerging trends around sub-Saharan Africa, the FCT Health Authorities has put in measures to forestall any possible outbreak of Ebola and other infectious diseases, not forgetting COVID-19.
Ebola, as we call it, is one of the diseases that is classified as viral hemorrhagic fever, and Ebola virus disease is one of them. In short form, we call it EBD. As we speak, we have outbreaks in some countries, particularly African countries. The world is a global village, and one case of Ebola is an outbreak. It's a very highly infectious and very deadly. The EP division of the public health is in alert mode. In addition to the diseases of public health importance reported under the Integrated Disease Surveillance IDS are routinely.
Meanwhile, Ghana has joined the list of countries taking measures against traveling to and through China in the wake of the current wave of COVID-19. In the People's Republic of China, the Ghanaian government is warning its citizens to take necessary measures while embarking only on essential travel to China. In a statement by the country's Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration, the Ghanaian government has declared that with effect from 6th January 2023, travelers from China to Ghana will be required to present a 48-hour PCR test result and undergo mandatory antigen testing at the point of entry free of charge until further notice. And it is on that health note that we conclude the morning news, and I hand over to Kingsley and Emmanuel for the continuation of the program after this break.
Nigerian, we got to APC, not the party, now one more be a everything on the party, now one more be a the president we need, the president we go for. People of Nigeria don't talk of them saying Asiwaju Bola Tinubu they want as president of Nigeria. Our country people get many reasons we make them all agree say now Asiwaju Bola Tinubu can choose for this president election. Yes, so Bola Tinubu na man wey sabi anything wey he put in hand he dey work well. He do better work for Lagos State when he be governor. Till today Lagos people still dey enjoy from all the better things wey Jaburata for Lagos. People of Nigeria, we good to make we vote for who sabi. As e come be so, make we all come out for election day and vote Bola Ahmed Tinubu as president of Nigeria. Vote Senator Kashim Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party with the broom. Vote the president we go for.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way, while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
We are all Nigerians. Against all odds, we shall and must remain united. We may have our challenges, our problems, and setbacks. However, together we shall overcome them all. What doesn't break us shall make us stronger. This is the mindset that shall bring peace, progress, and prosperity to our beloved country. Do not let tribal and religious sentiments govern how you think, act, or feel. Don't be influenced by those who want to destroy our precious national unity. Everybody who's a Nigerian is your brother and your sister. This is the mindset of the new Nigeria. It is also the mindset that we must all adopt. Let us support each other in creating the Nigeria of our dreams. This message is from the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
The security challenges we have faced as a government have been daunting, from terrorism to banditry, to kidnapping, to separatist violence, to crude oil theft, to armed robbery and sundry crimes. It's undoubtedly the greatest challenge to the peace and security of our great country since the Civil War of 1967 to 1970. It is a kind of challenge that would have overwhelmed many nations. But thanks to the purposeful leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, we can say, I want to repeat, that the worst is over and peace and security are gradually returning to the land.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
What is happening? Your eyes are red. Your hand is the machete and a gun.
See, I am angry and I can't even contain it. See,
My guy, calm down, calm down.
I have planned to go and destroy these people's businesses in the city. I have to retaliate for what they've done at our place. They cannot take and have it now, never.
If you destroy their business here and they destroy that of those close to you over there, especially that your brother who sends you steady cash, how would you survive? Would your dreams be on hold?
See, what you're saying is correct, but I'm still angry.
The best way is to embrace peace. With peace and unity.
People, let us embrace peace and unity. Let's learn to live as brothers and sisters for a progressive, prosperous nation. This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Up next is Business News with Comfort Amudu.
The Central Bank of Nigeria says its attention has been drawn to misleading online publication which made several false claims concerning the recent sale of the federal government's interest in Polaris Bank Limited. Statement by Director Corporate Communications Osita Nwasubi said contrary to claims by an online publication, the divestment from Polaris Bank was supervised by a divestment committee comprising senior representatives of AMCON and CBN and supported by reputable legal and financial advisors. The divestment regulatory approvals. At no time did any other party make a higher purchase offer as falsely claimed by the online publication. The entity in question, Fairview Acquisition Partners, did not take the opportunity to update their offer by participating in the divestment process and thus did not make a binding purchase offer for Polaris Bank. The divestment was executed based on the relevant laws, global best practices for bank resolutions, and requisite regulatory approvals. The CBN says it remains resolute in pursuing its mandate to promote a safe and sound financial system in Nigeria.
Is there enough market intelligence to guide the whole process?
Africa is set to have huge domestic markets for various goods and services and a destination for leading brands. To sustain this trajectory, key players say Africa must work together to develop a unified regulatory framework and policies that will be a win-win for African countries.
If we don't break the policy barriers that will enable export and import, then it will be difficult for our products, lots of products from creative industries, from agricultural produce to even leave Nigeria.
The equities market closed Wednesday trading session in positive territory. The all-share index advanced by 0.12% at 51,657.56 basis points. With Business News, Comfort Amudu.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Now, next is a review of national dailies. Newspaper review.
As usual, Chukwudi Okolibada is standing by for the newspaper review. Good morning.
Good morning too. How are you?
Doing very well.
It's fight for sore eyes. Thank God you're here now.
Happy New Year, by the way. I think it's the first time I'm seeing you there.
That's why I said you're fight for sore eyes. You went away. Now you're back. We're happy you are. Good to see you.
So yeah.
Anyways, thank you. We have 3 papers for review this morning, plus of course other items that you may present. But anyway.
All right, let's begin with the Punch this morning. So many stories right here on the front page of the Punch newspaper, and just starting with the Borders headline, which reads, Discos hike electricity tariff, secretly consumers kick. I'm sure you're going to hear that again. Discos hike electricity tariff, secretly consumers kick. And the writers, consumers accuse Discos of fleecing margins, operators neck silent. Discos began new tariffs January 1. The order arbitrary increments. And that's coming from INEC. Details on page 20 of the Punch. Beside the masthead we have, I don't understand why assassins killed my brother, wife, son, slain CBN workers' sibling. Very sad story which happened on January 1, and details on page 3 of the Punch. Above the masthead we have NNPC prospects for oil in Niger, Borno. Page 23 has the details, and next to that we have Nigeria's debt to hit 77 trillion naira, loan servicing gulps 5.2 trillion naira, and you can read up that on page 19. We also have the CBN in the news. Of course, we have 25 buyers invited for Paris Bank sale, and that is credited to the CBN. And of course, we have the CBN governor's picture right there, and of course, so many stories. About the CBN and the CBN governor. Away from that, we have the picture story in front of the Punch this morning, and below that we have elections. INEC sets aside 8,809 beavers as backup, and details on page 2 of the Punch. We also have fuel marketers boycott private depots, and on page 5 of the Punch this morning we have 20 youths feared dead as Kebbi boat capsizes. And finally, from the Punch, we have 2.74 trillion naira security budget low. That's credited to the Reps panel. Quickly moving to the Leadership newspaper. Now we have the lead headline, which says federal government at crossroads says debt profile may hit 72 trillion naira. And the kicker to that story is alteration of 2023 budget. The riders decry 6 trillion naira loss to tax waivers. Says stamp duty allegations still under investigation. Exchange rate may go above $1 to 1,000 naira. And that's coming from Utumi. Alright, above that we have I serve Nigeria with all my heart. Tinubu assures Nigerians. Some details on page 7. Above that we have another fuel scarcity imminent as Nipeng threatens nationwide strike. Details on page 7. This story is not interesting this morning. Above the Leadership, we have PDP and Edge as G5 governors meet in Noyo. That's on page 4 of the Leadership. Next to that, we have Bauchi Emirates sacks Kingmaker for disrespecting Bala Muhammad. Alright, that's on page 17 of the Leadership. Quickly looking at some headlines. Just beside the picture story of the Leadership this morning, we have, after 4 years, Edu inaugurates new NDDC board. Details on page 24. Assets declaration, court stops probe, arrest of INEC chairman. Details on page 12. And finally, DSS arrest masterminds of Kogi explosion. And you can read up that also on page 12 of the Leadership. So that's it from the Leadership this morning.
Okay, before we begin, Chukudi, let me quickly take a look at the New Telegraph. Above the nameplate of the New Telegraph for this morning, fuel subsidy, EFCC recovers 13 billion naira illegal payments with a rider, or 2 riders rather. Nigeria instrumental to OPEC's December oil outputs, according to report. Production peaked at 1.35 million barrels per day. Details of that on page 3 and 35. Now, below the name flag, Buhari's visit, DSS arrests mastermind of Kogi explosion. It's on page 6. Says suspect senior ISWAP commander. ASU kicks as federal government withholds unions November dues over audit report. That's on page 4. Importation stifling Nigeria's sufficiency in drug manufacturing. That's according to NAFDAC. That story is on page 5 of the New Telegraph. Ngige, why I am not supporting Tinubu Atiku Obi Kwankwaso says Buhari's government not responsible for hardship. So page 2. Now the news story, DMO, Nigeria's total debt stock to hit 77 trillion naira by May 2023. As federal government forecloses debt restructuring. So other riders include defense and security get 2.98 trillion naira infrastructure, 1.24 trillion health, and 1.15 trillion allocations in 2023. Budgets hopeless, says Ezra Presley. Well, okay, now beside the picture story on the New Telegraph, new naira notes we are yet to see touch redesigned currencies. That's on page 29. Bauchi residents lament. Yes, new naira notes we are yet to see touch the designed currency in Bauchi State. Okay, Article 2 Tinubu, we are not qualified to speak on integrity. And so pages 5 and 26. APC plans mega rally for Enugu. Alright, now shake up as NAF appoints new branch chiefs, AOCs and others. Customs Board elevates 3 ACGs, 1,490 senior officers. The story is on page 5. Mbaka returns to adoration ground after 8-month suspension in monastery. It's on page 28. Alright, 2023 polls, that's the kicker. INEC takes delivery of Beaver's last batch. The story on pages 2, 3, and 8. It laments 800,000 unclaimed PVC in Ogun State. Court throws out suit on asset declaration against INEC chairman. Nigeria records 35 new COVID-19 cases in 1 week. New variants not detected in the country yet, NCDC. We are taking a part of your time.
Quite a chunk,
yeah.
So I'm going to be breezy about it.
Exactly.
Let's start with the EFCC recovering 13 billion naira illegal payments in the name of subsidy. This is coming from a document reportedly published on the website of the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit. That's the NFIU, according to the New Telegraph. I heard it from you.
Yeah.
Now, it links it to the National Inherent Risk Assessment of Money Laundering and Terrorist Financing in the Nigerian extractive sector. The first thing you want to consider here is the credibility of the story, but since a website is quoted, we can say that some attribution has taken place. Having said that, one would have expected the EFCC to be the ones to beat their own chest. I mean, 13 billion naira illegal payments, discovered by the EFCC. It's not a joke. One would have expected them to be the ones to out with it. But it shouldn't surprise us, that sharp practices are being intoned in the subsidy regime. If Nigeria could move from about that's in the story we just have there. The point I'm trying to make now is we shouldn't be surprised that illegal payments have been discovered. If you remember that when bunkering was finally decided to be clamped down on, a lot of things happened. A lot of things happened. Yeah. We moved from 900,000 barrels per day to now 1.35 million barrels per day within just 4 months. Can you see the beauty of enforcement? A time comes when you tell people you can't cross that line anymore. Now, intelligence units are eloquent on the existence of persons of bad intention in the country. The questions we want to ask, therefore, is what are the precautions being taken against fraud? And when people are caught, it doesn't just stop at this, the discovery and plugging the holes. Are they brought to book? Because this would be a good source of a deterrent in future. I think these are things we have to consider. The good thing is that the timeline on total removal of subsidies still remains June. Maybe that's when all the wahala will come to an end. That's what I think. That's my opinion.
Of course, another type of wahala could also evolve, because analysts have indicated in the past that, of course, a removal of subsidy is the right thing to do, but then something comes after that. There has to be a buffer for it. I mean, because there's going to be a kind of shock, because it will be a kind of economic earthquake, if you like, in terms of it will affect all other things that we do, food items. There's always a bandwagon. Exactly. Yeah, domino. And if proper plan is not made to checkmate such shocks, then it's going to be another as you put it.
There's a second one, quickly. ASU case as FG withdraws union's November dues over audit report. Now, the spokesperson of the Ministry of Labour and Employment, that's Olajide Oshudu, is alleging that in spite of the government's request for same, ASU has not submitted an audit report on monies remitted to the union over a 4-year period. Now, this is an issue of transparency, if I may say so. Now, if it is true, does ASU have a reason for withholding the report? If the reasons are there, has ASU told us what the reasons are? I think these are issues we have to take up. Then quickly, Nigeria records 35 new COVID cases in 1 week. COVID is cold condition sensitive. We cannot assume we'll be insulated from it. Let's be cautious. That's what I
and I would quickly want to take you up on that. I mentioned that last week. I remember vividly when the federal
we are now going to great
I'm very optimistic that we have it under control.
Do you think that all these while that everyone has been keeping quiet about COVID, that people have not had people let's look. I don't know what to do. That's saying, because it will come usually when such thing comes, you deal with it. We have cough, we have other fleas like that. It's a class of and gentlemen. I think scientific. I think
and there is need.
Exactly.
Yes, there's no precaution, and then maybe from now henceforth I'll begin to call Karen Dr. Karen, because
we should be scientific about it.
Well, actually out of time, but quickly, this disco issue and increasing tariff secretly. I mean, is that right?
Well, the tariff has been increased previously. The security aspect of it suggests to me it's an investigation. When it's an investigation, you're cautious about it because it's not attributed to any member of the NEC, that's the NERC, or the discos. So let's leave it at this stage.
No, but if you have
found to find out what the case is.
If you have bought, electricity, whatever it is called, this year from January, it is clear that the unit you get is less than what
I paid last year. I bought about 15,000 naira in November, which is going to take me to. So I have not discovered.
Okay, well, for those who have actually patronized the discos,
I don't know what has happened, whether there is a manipulation in the metering system, or it's has adjusted to go faster. Because these are simple things that we should know. These things can be made to go faster or slower, as the case may be. The metering,
they don't have to touch your meter.
Look, was it manufactured by?
No, they don't have to touch your meter to increase everything.
It's the number of units you get.
Do you know that sometimes they'll come and check your meter to check the functionality of the meter, because they have the knowledge that some clever guys can adjust that meter to move slowly. Whatever unit you buy, it is the meter that discharges it into the system.
That's their routine.
Exactly. So when they do that, they want to know whether you have tampered with it. So they do that. So it is a
tampering with the meter is completely different from the issue of raising tariff without actually informing your customers.
Yes, that's the point I was making.
That's the main issue.
Meter to do that. It will be done from headquarters.
Anyways, we're out of time, so we'll leave it at that for now, and of course we'll take a break. When we come back, we shall get into the discussion properly on Good Morning Nigeria. Please stay with us.
Nigeria, African beauty on the Gulf of Guinea, blessed with natural landmarks and wildlife reserves. Nigeria, largest economy in Africa. Nigeria, famous accomplishment in entertainment and sports. Nigeria, resourced with globally respected human capital. Our uniqueness lies in our tenacity, our acumen, a testament of success. At NTA, we are forever proud to be the showcase channel of this positive energy and the reflection of the good in our nation. The capacity to tell our nation's story would not have been possible without the support and patronage of the three arms of government: ministries, departments, agencies, corporate bodies, advertisers, religious bodies, civil society groups, political parties, and of course you, our esteemed viewers. As we wish you a prosperous new year, let's get set to make 2023 even greater together.
The violent and criminal activities of indigenous people of Biafra and its armed wing, the Eastern Security Network, present the greatest threat in the Southeast zone. However, kidnapping for ransom, armed banditry, communal clashes have been some of the security threats that bedevil the region. Accordingly, joint military operations are being conducted in the Southeast to overcome the threats and to entrench peace and security. The military effort, in collaboration with other security agencies, are achieving the set objectives, which are the defeat of the threat and restoration of peace and security in the region.
This message is brought to you from the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
To every politician, as the campaigns gain momentum and passions begin to rise, remember, the errors of your opponents do not make you a success. Do not run down your opponent and inflame passions to violence between and among your supporters. What counts is what you plan to do for the electorate and how you intend to relieve the sufferings and bring succor. Nigeria is in dire need of patriotic leaders at all levels, leaders who will make national development their priority. Concentrate on telling the electorate what you intend to do when you get into office. Focus on making your vision clear to the electorate. Don't engage in verbal abuses, fake news or speeches. Keep dealing with issues that will bring progress. You win the hearts and minds of the people by being above board, by being civil, patriotic, and showing empathy. Let's join hands to make the 2023 elections peaceful. A message from the National Orientation Agency.
Our country want better. Our country want better. Who go do one for us? Mama can move. Mama can move. For a better Nigeria. Good life and thought. Now you want to. Now you we need.
Yes, so people of Nigeria, they jolly for the better one shell for the country. So we need to put Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the next president of Nigeria. Our people don't look the matter well said. Only Bola Tinubu don't do what everybody can see. Now you get the experience where you go fit use take make our country better, make life sweet for we and our picking them. Bola Tinubu don't gather better plan to chase down work for we youth, better school, the security of lives and property, unity and peace of all the country people of Nigeria. But these and many other better things where in don't vocalize. It could make we all vote Asiwaju Bola Tinubu president of Nigeria. Vote Kashif Shettima as vice president. Vote APC, the party where she grew. Now you need
The council of our fathers. My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is. Nigerian youth, let's build our nation together.
Alright, we are glad you're still with us on Good Morning Nigeria. for today. To begin our discussion on the subject matter, which of course are the expectations in the agricultural sector in 2023. Let's get this report put together by Abdul Salam Jibril.
According to former U.S. President Thomas Jefferson, agriculture is our wisest pursuit because it will, in the end, contribute most to real wealth, good morals, and happiness. This certainly underscores the importance of agriculture in today's world. Some experts maintain that, globally, agriculture impacts society in many ways by supporting livelihoods through food, habitat, job creation, and providing raw materials, among others. In the not too distant past, agriculture was the mainstay of Nigeria's economy. Some analysts insist that despite the presence of oil in the country, it is the main source of livelihood for most Nigerians as it provides food and jobs for the populace. Available data from the National Bureau of Statistics reveals that agriculture accounts for about 23% of the country's gross domestic product. The Bureau also indicates that the agricultural sector in the first quarter of 2022 grew by 3.16%, an increase of 0.88% from the corresponding period of 2021. The sector also grew by 1.34% in the third quarter, showing an increase of 7.47% from the same quarter of 2021. This is despite the World Food Programme's assertion in 2022 that the world is facing a food crisis